Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it is the 13th of July, 2025. We're here with another live podcast because tonight was WWE Evolution. And I'm going to say I love this show. I thought this show was great from start to finish. The women's tag title match was kind of the lowest. Well, that and the Battle Royal were kind of the two low points of the show. But everything else I thought was damn good. Like, I'm not saying either were bad. The Battle Royal was a Battle Royal. Well, what can you really expect from just a 20-person Battle Royal that is not a Royal Rumble or something with surprises and whatnot? We knew everybody going into it, who was going to be in it. So it's not like they had some super secret surprise that shocked us. And then as far as the tag title match, with just so many people in that match, I feel like not everybody got the right time to shine, and it's hard when you're hampered with time limits and this and that, and you're timing things out, and you got this and whatever. So for me, I felt like, yeah, it would have probably been better if it was just a regular tag match, two teams. But you want to get as many people on the show as possible, so I get that, whatever, okay. So other than that, though, if we're looking at the card here, and I got my notes, and I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia as well, so I have the times, because I never get the times. Evolution. I want to see the how long each match went. Do we have it on Wikipedia? Where's the wiki? There's the wiki. But like, they did the Blake Monroe heel turn, which we knew eventually was going to come soon. JC Jane retained the title. Now it looks like we're going to get Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace working a program while JC Jane goes and does her thing over the next week with Masha Slamovich and TNA. And then Trish and Tiffany was actually pretty dang good. It was the shortest match of the night at 8.5 minutes. But even that one, have we ever seen Trish do moonsault before? Because I can't remember last time I ever, if ever, saw Trish do a goddamn moonsault. And then like the opener, Becky, Bayley, Lyra, from the jump, I was like, holy shit, these three are killing it. And is this what we're getting tonight? And then Jade Naomi was awesome. Stephanie Drakur winning the Battle Royal was predictable. And then, oh my God, Rhea and Io had one of the best matches in the entire weekend. We had so much wrestling this weekend from NXT, WWE's main roster, Evolution here, AEW yesterday. And these two, Io and Rhea, had one of the best matches of the weekend. And then the cash-in to close the show with Naomi was one of the best moments of the weekend. So I thought they killed it. They killed it with this show. Now, Triple H was asked in the post-show press conference, I'm going to pull up the quote here, about if this needs to be a yearly thing, if they could do this every single year. And basically, he almost kind of said no, because I'll read you the quote here. Let me read the quote first, and then I'll talk about how I interpreted this. He said, quote, I don't want to say it's yearly. It's not yearly. I think we see what the demand for it is. Because as the demand for the women grow every day, it becomes less about having their own show and more about, like, that's the equality. It's all there. And they don't have to have their own show to be in the spotlight. But if it works, we'll definitely go down that road. So I think it's a we shall see. Now, what Triple H is saying is everyone talks about equality. They want the men and the women to be treated equal in pro wrestling and get the same opportunities. And so why do the women need their own show? Basically is what he is saying. He's not saying he doesn't want to do another one. He's not saying that this didn't work, because from what has been said so far, people backstage think it was successful. But regardless, what Triple H is trying to say here is, if the women want to be treated equal to the men, then why do they need their own show? And why can't we just have women main event the shows? Why can't women just go out there and on a show that also has men on it, be a focal point? That's what Triple H is trying to say here. He's like, we already have women main eventing big shows and every other show, which we do. We've seen women main event WrestleMania, Raws, the SmackDowns, and all the other PLEs and stuff. So it's like, I get where he's coming from. It's more of the, hey, we'll see if there's demand for it, but it's not needed. It's not needed because we could just do regular shows and everybody can get equal time or get treated the same. It's kind of what he's trying to say. Now, maybe they don't do this every year. Maybe they do it biannually, and like every other year they do a big Evolution show and they build up something, and then I don't know. I think they should do another one. I don't know if, and people might misconstrue what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if it needs to be every year. I don't know if it needs to be every single year, because then it's like, oh, why don't the men get their own show? Which technically Saturday Night's main event last night was, other than the Jade Naomi angle. But regardless of any of that, the show was awesome. The show was great. I can't wait to talk about it. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Excuse me, I had the hiccups all of a sudden. If you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out by heading over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Today, we did have some updates on the injuries to both Adam Cole and Seth Rollins, which we're going to talk Seth Rollins here in a moment as well, because Triple H did mention that. Remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member, just like Elite Tiss has done for 15 months. Thank you so much. He says, Naomi is champ. Woo! Rhea out. Yay. Sounds like you ain't a Rhea fan, even though Rhea is the most popular female wrestler in the world right now. Anyways, go over there. You get a badge next to your name. You get emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat and in the comment section. You also get access to our graphics tutorials and our graphics packages. You can also get all of that, I would say, in a more organized platform, patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Maybe you're a Fortnite fan, but haven't really gotten into the new Super season, and then see, oh my God, I can get two different versions of Superman, Corn Sweat, and the ink-drawn one. Oh, what do? I need the Battle Pass. Let's go. And when you're getting that Battle Pass and getting the V-Bucks for it, it's going to ask you if you have a creator code. You do. It's right here. It's PW Unlimited. Also, don't forget to go to the Epic Game Store and claim the free games, Figment 2 and Skyrocket. So with all of that, if you do put the code in, even when claiming the free games, we get a little bit off that as well. So we really do appreciate that. With all of that, as far as this show does go, why won't that go off the screen? There we go. The show, I didn't see any of the pre-shows. Well, I don't know what happened on the pre-show. They never do matches or nothing. WWE really needs to get back to at least doing like one pre-show match, especially at like Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam, and maybe Survivor Series. They need to get back to doing pre-show matches on the pre-show, at least for like the big four. Just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But anyways, as far as this show does go, it did open up with the Women's Intercontinental Championship three-way. Becky Lynch defending against both Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And like I said, these three kicked off the show and just said, hey, this is the night we're going to have, and it's going to rock. But even before that, Joe Tessitore opened up, and he was hosting the show. He welcomed us to the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. He hyped everything up tonight, and then he brought out Stephanie McMahon, which it was weird. Because he just kept calling her Steph McMahon, or here was Steph McMahon. And I'm like, people have called her Steph in the past, but it just sounds weird when it's Steph McMahon. I don't know. So basically, like between matches and stuff, they would cut to him and Stephanie doing like the hosting things and like, how's it going? What do you think? Oh my God, that last match. And then Wade and Michael Cole were on commentary. Interesting they didn't get any females on commentary. I don't know who they would have really got, to be honest, though. WWE doesn't really have, like, thinking about it, WWE doesn't have that female broadcaster as far as like doing announcing. Yeah, they could have maybe thrown Jackie Redmond on there, but who knows if she's even got any experience broadcasting and doing like announcing and commentating. So who wasn't it? Renee did the last one. Correct me in the chat. Who did commentary for the last Evolution? Actually, I can just look it up right here. Hold on. Wikipedia probably will tell me. Will it tell me who the broadcast team was? The broadcast team was, it was Michael Cole, Renee Young, and Beth Phoenix. Okay, I forgot about that. It was Michael Cole, Renee Young, and Beth Phoenix who were the broadcast team last in 2018. That's who it was. Okay. But Stephanie and Joe are just talking and whatnot. Michael Cole, they kick it to him. And he tells us Alicia Taylor is going to be the ring announcer. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be Lillian Garcia, but apparently a couple of weeks ago she was dealing with a respiratory infection, and then last night doing the announcing for Saturday night's main event, it re-aggravated that respiratory infection, and so she lost her voice. Basically, like her voice was bad. She couldn't do her normal deal, so they brought in Alicia Taylor. Unfortunate, but hey, Alicia Taylor's great anyways. Stephanie did commentary. The one time I can remember Stephanie doing commentary was the what's the word I'm looking for? First Women's Rumble. Stephanie was on commentary. As far as this match does go, this match was fucking great. Bell rings. The fans break out into big ovation. And Bayley hypes up the crowd, but then use that moment to deck Lyra. The first few minutes of the match had everyone just trading moves and whatnot, trying to feel each other out. Lynch suplexed Bayley into the barricade. About 3 minutes or so in, they were still kind of fighting, and then someone, I didn't write down who, but I'm like, someone, I just write shoved in steel steps, but I didn't write who. I literally just wrote shoved into steel steps. Didn't remember to write who. Valkyria then started hulking up here, wiped out both opponents with a flying crossbody. Valkyria then hit Lynch with a fisherman's suplex. But Bayley broke up the cover with a perfectly timed flying elbow. The crowd popped big for it and got a "This is awesome" chant. Bayley then hit Lynch with a sunset flip power bomb into an upside down Valkyria in the corner. This looked really cool as well. Lynch then hit Bayley with a superplex, but Bayley repeatedly blocked attempts of a submission until Lyra, I was trying to mix Lyra and Valkyria. I was going to call her Vyra. Lyra knocked down both women with a flying leg drop. It's got another big pop in it. "This is awesome" chant. These women at this point were just going a mile a minute. They were killing it. They were just big move after big move, but it all made sense. It wasn't just spot for spot's sake. Lynch then followed this up with a combo DDT, reverse DDT on both women, and then tried to go for the cover, but Lyra kicked out at 2. Lynch and Lyra then traded counters until Lynch hit a manhandle slam, but Bayley broke up the cover. Bayley then hit Lynch with a belly-to-belly. Lyra then broke up the cover off of that. And we got another "This is awesome" chant. Valkyria then hit Lynch with a Nightwing. But, well, Bayley broke up the cover when she tried to go for the pin. Then we get a really interesting finish here. Bayley hits the Rose Plant on Lyra and goes for the pin. But instead of just jumping on them to break up the pin, Becky runs in and does this weird like flip over Bayley to where she flips over her, grabs Bayley. They both flip over, and she's got Bayley down in like a backslide kind of maneuver. Not full backslide, but it's like a modified backslide. She's got Bayley down. 1, 2, 3, boom. Becky wins. Becky retains the title. I'm not a big fan of these flash out of nowhere deals. We saw a bunch of them last night in the AEW show, but this was creative and different than I've seen before. I've never seen somebody break up a pin into a pin like this. So kudos on them for doing something I've never seen before. The match itself went 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Next up, we did have a couple people shown in the crowd. NXT General Manager Ava and Mark Henry. Then we hear, "Excuse me." And it's, yes, Vicky Guerrero. Vicky was in the crowd, and I thought it was great. The crowd popped for it. Now, we do know that Kelly was asked to be there, but she wanted to wrestle, and they told her, "We just want you in the crowd," and she said, "Nah, not the right time. Not the right time." So then they aired a clip from earlier today of Jordynne Grace asking Blake Monroe, hey, will you be in my corner tonight? You know, JC's going to have her girls. I might need some backup. And that backfired on old Jordynne Grace, who was dressed as Wolverine tonight. Really cool. We did have that NXT Women's Championship match, JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace. And this was for a couple of different things, actually. There was two things on the line in this match. There was the NXT Women's Championship and a shot at the TNA Women's Championship, or the Knockouts Championship. Because at Slammiversary next Friday, I want to say it is, Saturday, when's the 20th? Next Sunday. Oh, it's a Sunday pay-per-view. Okay. Next Sunday at Slammiversary, it's champion versus champion. It's NXT Women's Champion versus TNA Knockouts Champion. So whoever won this match tonight, which is JC Jane, also gets a shot at the TNA Knockouts title. So that's really cool that, you know, they didn't really mention it on the broadcast, but more than just the NXT Women's Championship was on the line. So as far as this match does go, Grace did have the advantage early on until Jane catapulted her into the middle rope. Fallon Henley got involved and choked Grace while Jane distracted the referee. Blake Monroe didn't really react much. I'm sitting here going, oh, that's interesting. She's not even trying to really help. She's not even trying to stop them from, you know, what she was supposed to be doing there. I need you to combat the girls on the outside, but she really wasn't. And I'm sitting here going, well, that's interesting. But I wasn't thinking, oh, she's going to screw or turn on Jordynne. JC Jane got control until Grace hit a folding powerbomb for a 2. Jane regained control and hit a draping neck breaker for a 2. Jane missed a corner cannonball, and they traded cradles until Grace hit a fisherman's suplex for a 2. Jane hit a hurricane run off the top and a knee strike for a near fall. Fallon Henley then tossed the belt into the ring, so Monet headbutted her. The referee stopped Jane from using the belt, and Grace rolled her up and got a 2 off of it. Grace then followed this up with the back fist. Jasmine Nix then grabbed the belt, so Monroe decked her. And I'm like, okay, she is helping. Maybe she just wasn't paying attention earlier. Monroe then held on to the belt. And I'm like, oh, why don't you just put the belt down? Okay, maybe she doesn't want them getting it again. Fallon Henley then tried to get into the ring, which distracted the referee. JC Jane then whipped Jordynne Grace across the ropes. And when she got to the side over by the announce table, fucking Blake Monroe grabbed, I'm trying to see if I have my belt here, but I don't. Blake Monroe grabbed that belt and boom, hit Jordynne right in the back with it. This then allowed JC Jane to hit her with a discus punch and pin her 1, 2, 3 to retain the title. So yeah, Blake Monroe screwed Jordynne Grace. Also, I didn't write it in the notes, but there was a spot where Jordynne did like an elbow to the throat of JC Jane. Didn't injure her per se, but it did hurt her a little bit to where afterwards JC Jane was having a hard time talking. We saw it in an interview with her on the post show that she kind of messed up her throat a little bit. She took an elbow from Jordynne Grace. So the match ends and all of Fatal Influence are all shocked. Like, whoa, she just what? Okay. And then they celebrate and there we go. Because Monroe got in the ring and basically gave the title to JC Jane. Now remember, Blake Monroe pinned JC Jane yesterday at Great American Bash. So I think that could still, even though now she's a heel versus heel, whatever, I still think that could lead to JC Jane defending against Blake Monroe down the line, maybe even a heat wave. But we also have to see, is JC Jane winning at Slammiversary or is Masha Slamovich? Because then if that's the case, Masha would become the new NXT Women's Champion. Then we can do Masha versus Blake, babyface versus heel. But we also don't know how long the program between Jordynne and Blake is going to be. So if that is something that bleeds into Heatwave, then we're not going to get her title match there yet. We'll have to wait and see. We just don't know how long the program between Jordynne and Blake's going to be. But I thought this was a really good match with about 10.5 minutes, and it served 3 different purposes. World title match, NXT Women's title match, crown the #1 contender for the Knockouts title, and the Blake Monroe turn that set up a Blake Monroe Jordynne Grace program. We got more legends in the crowd. Jazz, Ivory, Jacqueline, and Maurice. Testator and Stephanie McMahon were back, kind of just discussing the previous few matches and killing time. Then we had the women's tag title match. It was Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending against the teams of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, which I thought they worked really well together as a team. The Kabuki Warriors, and then Sol Ruca and Azaria. Very shocked that Sol Ruca was the one that took the pin here. Because basically Raquel pinned both the Speed and NXT Women's North American Champion. Now, pinning the Speed Champion means nothing because the thing with that is you have to win the Speed tournament and then get a title shot, whatever. But you pinned the North American Champion. Does that mean that Roxanne could literally, not Roxanne, Raquel can show up on NXT and say, hey, this is Sol Ruca. I pinned you. I want to challenge you. I don't know. Maybe. But as far as this match does go, Asuka and Sane were pulled over. Well, we're all over. I don't know why I wrote pulled. We're all over Perez and Rodriguez early on. Rodriguez got tagged in at one point and eventually knocked them both down. Rodriguez and Perez were in control briefly. And the crowd started chanting, "We want Charlotte," which I'm like, what the what? Why are they chanting for Charlotte? We've seen many crowds recently booing Charlotte Flair. Not a fan of Charlotte Flair. Well, hey, kudos. Whatever she's been doing, the Alexa stuff is getting her back over with the crowd. Bliss then got a good reaction when she tagged in, and she went after Roxanne. Zarya tagged in and easily blocked Bliss's offense. She hit an inverted suplex, and Sol Ruca flew in with a springboard facebuster for a 2. The crowd then cheered when Charlotte Flair tagged in, and again, I was a little mind blown. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? It was like, she's supposed to have been a babyface since her return at the Rumble, and they've been treating her like the heel. So, hey, kudos. Whatever her and Alexa are doing, it's working. It's working for what they want anyways. Charlotte, you could see, was like both happy and a little surprised by that reaction. You could see it on her face. She then gets some good offense in. She hit Perez with a spear and got a near fall off of it. Raquel booted Charlotte and checked on Perez. Cole thought it was interesting that Rodriguez was checking on Perez. And I'm like, why? It's her fucking partner, dumbass Michael Cole. Espinoza says, Georgia is Flair country, isn't it? No, that's Charlotte, North Carolina, where she is from, the Queen City. North Carolina is Flair City, Flair country, not Georgia. Asuka and Sane then got their time to shine, but Zarya broke up Sane's cover on Roxanne Perez. Zarya tagged herself in and hit both of the Kabuki Warriors with the vertical suplexes. Charlotte then broke up a cover, so Sol Ruca hit Charlotte with a soul snatcher. Moments later, Charlotte pulled Bliss for some safety, and Zarya speared Sol Ruca by accident. This then led to coming down to the finish of the match. Raquel Rodriguez powerbombed Bliss over the top rope onto, was it Asuka, Kyrie, and Zarya at ringside. Rodriguez then instructed Perez to take out Charlotte, so she hit her with a suicide dive. Rodriguez then hit Sol Ruca in the middle of the ring with the Hana Bomb and pinned her 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day retained the titles. Fun little match. If we're not counting the Battle Royal, then it was the weakest of the regular matches on the show. But I think that was just because there were so many people in this match. Was it 8? 2, 4, 6, 8? Yeah. There's 8 women in this match. And so it's like trying to give everybody a little bit of time to shine, trying to let people do their stuff. And it just, I wouldn't say got jumbled up and confused, because it was never a point where I couldn't follow what was going. Unlike some matches, like yesterday on the buy-in for AEW, where we had those 8-man tags and it was just a lot of chaos. At least with this, because there was normally 2 people in the ring at a time and not anything else really going on outside of that. They kept it contained. It was easy to follow. But it's still, as far as matches do go, if you don't count the Battle Royal, because that's a specialty match, it was the weakest of the normal matches. We got more legends. Tori Wilson, who I guess they said was on the pre-show. We got Melina, and then Molly Holly, who Michael Cole actually mentioned is more influential on the women today than most people know. And if you know, you know, Molly Holly is one of the backstage producers. A lot of people don't actually know that. Molly Holly does work backstage for WWE. And then cut back to Tess and Steph. Tess noted how handsome Triple H is. And yeah, that was weird. Stephanie chuckled. Also, there was a weird video posted on social media earlier. I think it was by Triple H. Where it was Triple H going up to talk to somebody and then realized that Stephanie's standing right there. And he's like, oh, hey. She's like, hey. And it looked like two people that hadn't seen each other in a while. So I don't know. Or maybe like Triple H has been running around all day busy. And so she didn't realize she was going to bump into him before the show started. I don't know. But it was a weird little interaction between the two. Moving forward. Oh, that match went, let's see, women's tag title, 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we had, like I said, the shortest match of the night. The shortest match of the night being the WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defending against Trish Stratus. Stratus wore a white gear with gold lining. They said something about it like being a callback to when she was women's champion, the original women's title or something. They said it was a callback to the original women's championship. I don't know what that means, but okay, cool. Tiffany wore all red. So Trish actually had the early advantage and seemed like she had a little bit of an edge to her. Like she was trying to show that she could still hang. And I wouldn't say messed with Tiffany, but it was like, it felt like Trish was being a little more aggressive than Tiffany may have been expecting. Stratus bought Stratton. Let's go to Stratton. Say that 5 times fast. Stratton. Nope, can't do that. Anyways, Trish brought Tiffy down off the apron with a Hurricane Rana and hit a Tornado DDT in the middle of the ring for a 2. Tiffany went on offense and hit a vertical suplex into a backbreaker that looked really cool. It's like Falcon Arrow with a twist into a backbreaker. Really cool looking move. She got a 2 off of it. Stratton then followed this up with a Swanton for a 2. The 2 traded counters until Trish hit a chick kick and got a 2 of her own. Tiffany then went for a PME, but Stratus got her knees up and hit the Stratusfaction for a near fall. Trish then went for a moonsault. He said on commentary, it was a tribute to her best friend Lita, which I'm like, when have we ever seen Trish do a goddamn moonsault? But it looked good. Tiffy got her knees up. Stratton then hit a chick kick of her own, followed by a PME and pinned the Hall of Famer to retain the Women's Championship. I thought this was a good match. Other than the beginning, where you can see like Tiffany wasn't expecting the shots that Trish were giving her in the first like minute or so. These two worked very well together. That was good. That was really good. After the match, this was a weird thing. After the match, Tiffany gets the belt. She's like celebrating, and she like went over and like embraced with a couple fans at ringside. And then the referee Jessica Carr like went over to her. And she's like, "Hey, you gotta go. Let's just go." Like she was rushing her out of there. And then Trish stayed in the ring. She stood there and got like a big ovation from the crowd, like you do when someone's retiring or never gonna come back. But I think they're gonna work with Trish more. Trish was on the post show. And they said, so we're going to see more Trish Stratus? She goes, I hope so. It's my 25th anniversary, and I'd love to come back and do more. So it looks like WWE is going to do more with Trish, whether that's 1 more match, 2 more matches, whatever. But I think Trish does something else, does another match, at least 1 more match this year. But the match itself went about 8.5 minutes. Then we had... Actually, they showed Rey Mysterio at the Padres game, kind of hyping up SummerSlam or Survivor Series, because that's where Survivor Series is going to be. And I didn't notice anything with Nia. Nia was at the game. Nia had her family there and everything. She was posting on social media all day yesterday. And they only showed Rey, because I guess he threw out the first pitch. So that's all they really showed. We then got some more legends in the crowd. So Michael Cole's like, we got one of the longest reigning women's champions of all time, Medusa. And the lower third said Alundra Blaze. He goes, Alundra Blaze. That was funny. And then they also had Medusa's WrestleMania 10 opponent, former women's champion, Leilani Kai, was in the crowd as well. That was really cool. They showed a couple rappers. Was that Metro Boomin guy? And then some other guy, I didn't know who he was. Then we move on to a really fun match. It was a no-holds-barred match between Jade Cargill and Naomi, and special guest referee Bianca Belair, who really called this match right down the middle and didn't take no shit. So Naomi entered first and tried to attack Cargill during her entrance, but Cargill cut her off, and the bell rings, and they're just going. Cargill then took forever to set up a table, and Belair went over to whisper something to her like, hey, you figure this out or something. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of weird. Jade was having trouble, so Bianca tried to give her some advice or something. I don't know, but the camera immediately cuts. And we were like, oh, what's Naomi doing? What's Naomi doing? And she was just selling after being knocked down. Cargill then eventually went after Naomi, but Naomi posted her. Cargill speared Naomi moments later on the outside. Good look of spear. And Naomi gave her a bulldog onto a steel chair inside the ring. Naomi then wrapped a chain around Cargill's face, but Cargill knocked her off the ropes, wrapped the chain around her fist, and punched Naomi. Cargill yanked a big camera off of the hands of one of the cameramen, and I'm like, I don't think that's a real camera they're using, because if it was, they would have cut to the actual POV shot, but they didn't. She then just hit Naomi with the camera, and that was it. Followed this up by placing a trash can over Naomi's head and top half of her body, and then kicked the trash can. Naomi then rolled out of the ring, and Cargill tried to kill her with a drop. She used a toolbox to drop it on her head. Naomi avoided it, luckily. Naomi then drop kicked Cargill into a random screen, because the new announce tables that they're using have these screens on the front of them, and so they had a cool little moment here where Naomi got Jade down, and she was propped up against the table, the announce table. So Naomi drop kicks her into it. We see sparks and smoke all go up. I'm like, oh damn, that's kind of cool. Little effects there. A few moments later, Naomi used a chair to shove Cargill off the apron, and Cargill crashed through a table that she had set up earlier. Naomi followed this up with an X Factor on the chair, but only got a near fall off of it. As they come towards the end of the match, Naomi placed Cargill on a table and went up the ropes, but Cargill hit her with a chair. Cargill then grabbed Naomi and hit her with a jaded off the middle rope through the table. Pinned her 1, 2, 3. There we go. Jade picks up the victory with an avalanche jaded through a table. Really fun match here. And Jade picks up the victory in a match that went 11 minutes and 10 seconds. So I thought, it wasn't a great match. It was pretty good, not great, but then you had the no holds barred aspect of it, so that kind of masked any kind of imperfections that we would have saw from Jade. Because, it's Jade, who's probably winning the title at SummerSlam. She was supposed to be the champion 8 months ago. Do I want to see that? Yes and no. I'm interested to see what they would do with Jade as champion, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if Jade's ready. I don't know if Jade's good enough to be the champion. Who's going to have to carry her? Her and Tiffany going to really have that good of a match? Because Tiffany's good, but we have seen sometimes Tiffany needs to be carried. At times. Not always, but at times. And Jade most of the time needs to be carried. So it's Tiffany needs to be, quote unquote, the vet in the match, I guess you would say. So that's going to be an interesting one. Then we get a huge announcement for tomorrow night's Raw. Huge announcement pertaining to SummerSlam. We're getting a gauntlet match, and don't get me fucking started on gauntlet matches. It's CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Penta, and Braun Breaker. The winner of this gauntlet match will be the challenger for Gunther and the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam in 2 weeks? 1, 2, 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. Now, we're actually going to get a gauntlet match. It's a real gauntlet match because the AEW gauntlet match is not a gauntlet match. It's a Rumble. I'm going to just say it right now. The AEW gauntlet match, the Casino gauntlet match, is not a gauntlet match. And I talked about this last night. It is not a gauntlet match. It's a Rumble. It's a Battle Royal. And I wonder if WWE is doing this to fuck with the AEW. Because here's the rules of a gauntlet match. A gauntlet match can go one of 2 ways. The first way is a proving ground kind of deal, where you take one wrestler and a group of wrestlers as the opponent. And the one wrestler has to fight somebody. And if they win, they keep going. They fight the next opponent and so on and so forth. But if they lose, boom, the match is over. The other way you do a gauntlet match is you have a set number of people. This one's going to be 5. So say Penta and Braun Breaker started off. Whoever wins between the two remains. Next opponent comes in, Jey Uso. Say then Jey beats Braun Breaker. Next opponent comes in, LA Knight. Say Jey beats LA Knight. Then you get the final opponent, CM Punk. Then that's your final match, CM Punk. Jey Uso, winner of that, then wins the whole thing. Bada bing, bada boom, there you go. That is what a gauntlet match is. What AEW does for the Casino Gauntlet match is more of a Rumble. Their version of a Royal Rumble, Battle Royal. So, yeah, just saying, we're getting a real Gauntlet match tomorrow. I got this fly flying around here. What the hell? But as far as the Battle Royal tonight, Stephanie called it, Stephanie McMahon. She said, and your winner of the 2025 Evolution Battle Royal. So I'm like, oh, does it mean we're going to get this again? But Triple H didn't talk about it, so I don't know. So they literally wasted about 10 minutes because every single woman got their own entrance, basically. And I'm like, what? And then at one point in the middle of it, they cut to black. So I guess like maybe Peacock was doing commercials for the commercial tier. Because, you know, you have the multiple versions of Peacock. You have the with ads and without ads. I got the without ads. So this kind of played like international Netflix, where you're watching, all of a sudden it cuts to black for a few seconds, and then it comes back. And then it cuts black for a few seconds, and then we're back live with everybody. So they kind of played this like international Netflix, where they don't have ads, so you don't get the ads, but you get the ad break for a second. I don't know. Anyways, all the different women got entrances. And Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, they were thrown out in the first like 10 seconds. Literally, Nia Jax grabbed Tatum Paxley, threw her out in like 5 seconds. 5-6 seconds later, Izzy Dame's out. I'm like, oh, shit. Jackson throws out Kalani Jordan. Tatum and Izzy catch her. They fall on the announce table. And I go, oh, Kalani's getting the Naomi Kofi spot. So she's sitting on the announce table for a minute or two. Then we finally see her start to stir. She does the handstand, walk, over into the ring, bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Kalani's back in the match. She does the whole, yeah, woo. Crowd did and didn't react. There was like a mixed reaction where it was like, you could see some people kind of tried to just like cheer it, but then at the same time, some people just didn't care. Ivy Nile at one point went after Stephanie Vicure, because that's what Chad Gable told her to do. Julia then eliminated Ivy. Julia and Vicure then had a little bit of a stare down. And yes, they did have the women's United States champion in this match. And the crowd chanted lightly for Nikki Bella, like, Nikki Bella. But it was like a little pocket of the crowd. The crowd then kind of quieted down for a minute or two until Vicure set up Nikki Bella, that is, for the Devil's Kiss. But before she can do it, Chelsea Green broke it up. So it was great. Later, she finally got the move on Chelsea. That was a good little, hey, Chelsea fucked it up earlier. Everyone wanted to see it. Well, she gonna take it later. And I forget what was, so Wade's not gonna do the Booker T like, every time. But what did he call it? Like, he's like, oh, it's the Devil's Kiss. And he's like, bada boom, or something like that. What did he say? Fuck, no, I can't remember. But like, Wade's trying to put his own little spin on the Devil's Kiss for commentary. Anyways. There was a silly spot at one point where Maxine Dupree did her like reverse worm and then convinced Naomi to try, or Natty to try to do it. And Natty did, and it was horrible. And this led to Jada Parker grabbing Natty and throwing her out. So then like Dupree got all mad. And then Candice LeRae eliminated Maxine. And fucking Michael Cole kept calling her Candice Michelle. And then Wade's like, you did it again, Cole. She's not Candice Michelle. He's like, sorry, I'm thinking of the past. And then literally she does like 2 more things. Oh, Candice Michelle. Oh, wait, did I do it again? Uh-oh. So it's like, is this fucker doing it on purpose? Anyways, Kalani Jordan shoved Parker into LeRae, knocking her out of the ring for the elimination. And Michael Cole again called her Candice Michelle. Like, come on, guy. Amici and B-Fab then got eliminated. No, they eliminated Jada Parker, which actually got some boos. Jax tried to eliminate Kalani Jordan. She remained on the apron. However, LeRae kind of just yanked her off from behind with the elimination. Zelina Vega then eliminated Julia by kicking her into the ring post from the apron after she was thrown off but saved herself. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we're kind of still doing that. Zelina gonna get a rematch for her title back. I don't know. We'll see. Julia ain't dropping that belt. Even if they do a rematch with Julia and Zelina ain't getting the belt back. B-Fab then went after Piper Niven, but Niven just literally just grabbed her and threw her out of the match. Chelsea Green then eliminated Michin. So Michin tried to yank Green. out of the ring. But Alba Fire actually kind of just suicide dived out of the ring. And then they're like, oh, is she eliminated? Wait, no, she's not, because she went through the middle rope. So Alba Fire not eliminated here, even though she flew to the outside. Lash Legend then eliminated Zelina by press slamming her out of the ring. Nikki Bella then tossed out Alba Fire when she got back in and then posed. Bella and Lola Vice kind of swiveled their hips, kind of did their little deal until Piper Niven knocked them both down. Niven then eliminated Lola, who didn't do... Literally, I didn't even realize Lola Vice was in this match until her and Nikki Bella shook their asses and she got eliminated. So yeah, Lola Vice did nothing here. Nikki and Bakir then double teamed Piper to eliminate her. Bakir then finally got the Devil's Kiss on Chelsea Green here. Crowd loved it. Big, huge reaction. Nikki Bella then eliminated Chelsea. Jax then knocked down Nikki. Did her own little hip swivel, which is kind of funny. Jax then placed Nikki on the apron, and Lash Legend flew in with a boot. Jax moved, and Lash kicked Nikki in the face and eliminated her from the match. Legend then celebrated. Like, oh, this is a big deal. Oh my God, I got her out. And then we got 3 left. Lash Legend, Stephanie Bakir, and Nia Jax. Bakir and Legend kind of teamed up as literally Lash Legend grabbed Nia, scooped her, went over, placed her over the top rope, got her on the apron. They then worked together to eliminate Nia. The crowd cheered this as the final 2 are fighting it out. Stephanie at one point does get the 619. Legend, though, caught her off the ropes. And they kind of stumble for a second over the top. And they're on the apron now. Bakir then grabbed Legend with her legs and hit the Devil's Kiss on the apron, which then led to, after they kissed, a boom, da boom, da boom. Lash Legend fell off the apron. Boom. There you go. Winner, Stephanie Bakir. When you look at everybody who was in this match and announced previously, I was like, the only one that makes sense is Stephanie Bakir. I could maybe see Nikki Bella for like the nostalgia of it, but I was like, the only one that makes sense out of anybody was Stephanie Bakir or maybe Nia. So there we go. Stephanie wins. Stephanie McMahon then comes in the ring and basically does like the little interview / celebrates with her. And there we go. So now they didn't state who she's facing at Clash in Paris. They just said she now gets a world title shot at Clash in Paris. I assume it's her brand's champion, which means she's on Raw, which means now it's Naomi. So it's going to be Naomi versus Stephanie, maybe. We also don't know what Naomi's doing at SummerSlam. So I assume Naomi's still a champion by the end of the month. We'll see. Next month. End of next month is Clash in Paris. But this Battle Royal did go 15 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, before we get into this goddamn amazing, fantastic main event, let's talk about our sponsor, AECOOLY. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3 speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. With that, if you are watching live on Twitch, there we go. The poll is live, so if you want to go vote there, you do so. As far as this main event, holy crap, was this awesome. Like, this was a damn near perfect match. Like, I have nothing I can say bad about this match at all. At all. This, whew. If we thought that the triple threat with Bianca and Mania was good, this was equal, if not better. If not better. And many have said that that woman's triple threat on night 2 of Mania is one of the best matches, a match of the year competitor, candidate, whatever you're going to call it. And this is up there. This is up there as well. Like, we got at least 2 match of the year candidates this weekend alone. this match, and then Hangman and Moxley. For everything that I said yesterday about not being a death match guy, I also did state, hey, I saw the impact this match had, how great that match it was for being a death match, and what it served the purpose of, and finishing up the Death Rider story as far as this and that and so forth. And yeah, no. So yeah, like that match yesterday, not a death match guy, but again, I can respect what the match was and how good it was. I just wasn't the audience for it. But when you see a really good match, you give it its flowers and then say, but it's not for me. As far as this match does go, I was the audience for this match because this was great in a different way. Like, it was great in a different way. Like, honestly, I think both this and the All-In main event are 5-star matches. Both. Like, in their own way, they're both perfect matches for what they were to be. Io Sky got better of the exchanges early on. And then they kind of had like a little stare down. Ripley got the better of it after that. And she like tried to do Io's little pose. And then Io knocked her down and he was like, oh yeah, huh? What? Sky then continued to out-wrestle Rhea by hitting a drop kick and then an acai moonsault. He wound up on the apron at one point, and Ripley finally got some offense by hitting a knee strike and tossing Sky into the announce table. Didn't last long as Sky hit a great-looking tornado DDT. Sky couldn't help but then look enthused by hitting the move so smoothly. Like, it looked great. Also, later, there's a Poison Rana that looked fucking perfect. Oh, my God. The Sky followed this up with a double foot stomp and a suicide dive before hitting a missile drop kick. Sky did her pose and then hit running double knees in the corner for a 2. Ripley did a middle rope suplex, but Sky landed on her feet. Ripley went to the top, and Sky yanked her off the turnbuckle. Traded counters until Sky hit a Poison Rana for a 2. Sky then went to the top, but Ripley shoved her down. Followed this up with a Razor's Edge and a sit-out powerbomb that only got a 2. Sky reversed a Riptide into a sleeper, but Ripley backed her into the corner. Sky then went for a springboard moonsault, but Ripley ducked, and Sky kind of obliterated referee Jessica Carr. Just took her out. Ripley then hit Sky with a Riptide. Referee was down. Crowd counted. Got to like 15 before eventually Rhea just got, oh my God, pissed off that there was no ref here to count. And interestingly, no other ref ran down to take over, which was weird. Regardless, Rhea is pissed. Hits her with another Razor's Edge. Sky bounces, flies out of the ring. Ripley then runs at her, boots her over the barricade. They're fighting in the crowd. Ripley's just beating her and beating her and beating her. They start trading like powerbomb attempts and everything. And they're fighting near these production boxes. And Rhea's kind of got the advantage here, but then Sky fights her off and kicks her down and knocks her down. So then Io looks and goes, oh, I can climb up that. Boom, 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 boom. She's like 3 boxes high. And these boxes are not short. They're like, I don't know, 3 feet high each. So she's like 9 feet up in the air, if not higher. And does this fucking crossbody to the floor where, oh my God, you've got to, like, it's not like she crossbodied and there's a table down there going to kind of break the fall, this, that, whatever. No. She just crossbodied onto Rhea and just said, my life's in your hands, because if this don't work right, I splat and die. And Rhea caught her perfectly, and the crowd lost their minds, and we got a big-ass holy shit chant. Eventually, they stir and get back to ringside. Sky charged to Ripley, and Ripley dodged it. Sky then went ribs first into the announce table. Sky recovered. However, hit Ripley with a sunset flip powerbomb off the apron. The ref then reemerged as Sky went to the top rope. All of a sudden, like, Sky's going for her over the moonsault, and Jessica Carr's all of a sudden fine and just running back into the ring like, oh shit, what'd I miss? Ripley then kicked out after the closest 2.9 you see. One of the closest we've seen in a while. Crowd thought this was the finish. It got everybody. Because I thought it was the finish. I'm like, oh, referee's back up. We're going to go real quick. Boom, 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 boom. It's over. No. It ain't over. And I'm like, holy shit, we're still going. This is fucking awesome. This is goddamn great. And so, you know, they're fighting a little more. They fight to the top rope. Looks like Rhea wants to go for like avalanche riptide or whatever. Nope, that ain't what happens. Io reverses it. Big old Spanish fly. Both women splat in the middle of the ring, and they're just down. They're barely moving. They're kind of stirring, but they're like, I'm hurt. Oh, that ain't good. And then the music of Naomi hit. And she runs down with Daphne LaShawn, the referee. She runs over to Alicia Taylor, the ring announcer, and is like, I'm cashing in. Ref's like, she's cashing in. It's official cash in. It's now a triple threat. And so Alicia Taylor says, Naomi is cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase. This match is now a triple threat. So Naomi hits Sky in the head with the briefcase. Because like Io's like kind of crawling to the apron. She just kind of like peeks over the middle and bottom rope. Like, what the hell's going on? And Michael Cole immediately goes, triple threat, no DQ. Naomi still got the briefcase in her hand. She can use it. And then immediately she just, boom, cracks Io with that briefcase. Takes Rhea, throws her into the post. Rhea's out. Io's knocked out in the middle of the ring. So Naomi jumps in the ring, split-legged moonsault, boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, Naomi. Pinned Io and is the new Women's World Champion. This is Naomi's third World Championship. But for anybody that's like, Naomi, why would they ever put a big title on Naomi? Well, they've done it 3 times now. That's why. Because Naomi's fucking great. And this heel turn that Naomi's on, the only thing that I don't like, it's the thing that a lot of female heels do. They try to do the maniacal laugh. Mercedes does it as well, and it comes off just weird. When Naomi does it, it comes off a little weird as well. But regardless, Naomi's heel turn has been great. Naomi as a heel has been great, and now she's the fucking world champion. Kudos to them, not only for having a fantastic main event, but then a shocking finish. Who would have thought Naomi's going to cash in on these two? Everybody thought it was going to be Naomi cashing in after Jade wins the title from Tiffany. That's what everybody was saying online. That's what I was thinking. And then all of a sudden, when Naomi comes out here, I go, oh, shit. Okay. And then even when Naomi ran out with the ref, I go, it'll be a failed attempt. She's not going to fail the cash in, but they're not going to actually get the cash in. Something's going to happen. Someone's going to stop her. Maybe it's Jade. And that's what I was thinking as Naomi was coming down the aisle. But then when it's just like, it's a triple threat, I'm like, oh, shit. It's a real cash in. It's official. Holy crap. And she won the belt. Great. Awesome. Fan-fucking-tastic. I loved everything about this main event, from the match itself to the cash-in to the Naomi's the champion. It was all fucking perfect. Great. Awesome. Yes, Espinoza. Technically, if you want to count the Knockouts title, she's a 4-time world champion. That is correct. So after the match, Naomi celebrates in the aisle. She's got the belt. Woo, she celebrates. She leaves. But then Rhea and Io are still in the ring. And this got me tearing up. They both get to their feet in the middle of the ring. They look at each other. You can see that they're feeling the emotion, and they hug. They embrace. The crowd pops, loses it for them. They then crawl out of the ring. They sit on the apron. They embrace each other again. They walk up the aisle together. And it's just like the respect that these two women had for the match that they just had. That is a fucking match of the year contender. This is awesome. And so it's like, if this would have just been a straight up match, Io retains, Rhea, who was the actual betting odds favorite, would have won the belt, it still would have been fantastic. But then you add the cash in and that crowd, which, well, I didn't even talk about this crowd. This crowd was fucking amazing all night. There was a couple times in like the Battle Royal where they kind of just, because they didn't really know, it's Battle Royal, who we're supposed to be cheering for. We see a lot of women doing a lot of things. What's the focal point right now? Anyways, other than that, this was a freaking great crowd. What's the number here? It was like 6,000. Where's WrestleTix? What's WrestleTix got on the number? That's what I didn't see. Evolution. They did 8,300. Which last night in the same building for Saturday night's main event, they did 13,000. No, 12. So 4,000 more last night than tonight. I mean, that was the Goldberg retirement tour, and Goldberg said he brought in a couple hundred people himself. But anyways, fantastic crowd, great show. One of the best main events they could have had. Like, I don't think anything else could have been better than what this main event was. As good as the triple threat was to open the show, like if that match was here, and I would probably give the IC title match a 4. This was a 5, if not break that scale, 5.5. So, yeah. Like I said, this weekend we saw a lot of great wrestling. A lot of people thought this was going to be a dud of a show. A lot of people were like, oh, Evolution, it's going to be okay. No. These women came out there and they said, we're going to prove something. And they proved something. They killed it. They could kill it, and that they could have fantastic matches on a weekend where they were the afterthought. Oh, we were watching a bunch of wrestling yesterday with AEW and Saturday Night's Main Event. And, the Beyonce concert. No one's going to care to go to this. Nope. It was fucking great. And even in the main event, there was a spot where it's like they weren't just chanting, this is awesome, or for Rhea, or for EO. There was 2 different times where they chanted, this is wrestling, and then they chanted women's wrestling. So I loved it. I thought it was great. Start to finish, it was a fun show to watch, and it only went about, what's the runtime on this one? This goddamn AEW show was 6 hours and 20 minutes. That's not counting the pre-show. This show went, let's go back to Peacock really fast. Let's see if it's got a time yet. It might not have been uploaded yet. It is, let's see if I click this here. Peacock has it listed as 3 hours and 4 minutes. Not bad. It was an easy show to watch, too. Like, it was one of them just easy shows to watch. Very easy. Main event also went 26 minutes and 20 seconds. But with that, that's Evolution. A fantastic show. And you know what I thought. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought about the show. As far as the polls do go, let's refresh all of these. Boom, boom, boom. As far as the threads poll does go. Also, Naomi winning the belt ends EO's reign at 132 days. Oh, thank you, Bangs. I forgot about to talk about Seth Rollins. We'll talk about Seth here for a moment. So with Seth, we still don't know anything what's going on. As far as Triple H did state, right now everything's inconclusive. They don't know how bad Seth's knee is, but it's bad and it doesn't look good. Seth was there tonight because he wanted to support his wife. He was on crutches and had a brace on his knee, his right knee. Tomorrow is kind of fortuitous for them because the best doctor that can check Seth out is Dr. Dugas. And they're going to be in Birmingham, Alabama tomorrow for Raw. So Seth's already going to be in Birmingham. They don't got to send him to Birmingham and then see what goes of it. They're already going to be in Birmingham. So he's going to go see Dr. Dugas or Dugan, whichever it is. I think it's Dugas. Anyways, he's going to go see the doctor in Birmingham and get evaluated. He says he's going to get an MRI in the morning and then go from there. So whatever they need to do with Seth, whether that is positive, good, bad, or not for Raw, it's not like, oh, you know, he's going to stay in Atlanta, get checked out by an Atlanta doctor, and then we'll do whatever we got to do for Raw. And if, like, Seth's told, oh, it's nothing bad, you're good, just stay off it for a week, but he could still be on the show, cool, whatever. Being in Birmingham and maybe getting good news means, boom, you're already there. You can be on Raw willy-nilly, no problem. But if he were to be like, say he went to Birmingham, but Raw's in Green Bay, then they would be like, oh, no, Seth's good to be on the show tonight. He's fine, whatever. Then they would have to, like, find a way to fast track him up to Green Bay or something. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing that they're already in Birmingham tomorrow, because if whatever they need for Seth, he's not going to be in another city getting evaluated. He's going to be in the city that Raw's already in. So whether Seth needs to be there to vacate the Money in the Bank, to screw up the Gauntlet match, whatever, they're good to go. Whatever they need Seth for, he's already in town. So it's fortuitous that they're in Birmingham tomorrow. It's unfortunate that he's got to go get checked out and that his knee's all screwed up. But it's a good thing that Raw is in the best city with the best doctor for that injury. But yeah, Triple H did state that right now everything going on with Seth is inconclusive, but doesn't look good. As far as what they're going to do with Money in the Bank, No clue. No clue. But as far as the polls do go, why is this stuff? There we go. Threads poll. 77% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter poll, 89% liked the show, 8% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 86% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Person right here said, same thing Big E said. He said, best WWE show of the year. Big E said that too on the post show. Big E raved about all this. But Big E said on the post show, he's like, this is the best wrestling show I've seen all year. And Jackie Raven goes, really? But Big E said it perfectly on the post show. And I don't have the quote on hand, but he basically, I'll paraphrase. He's like, hey, I'm going to talk about Naomi in a minute. I've known Naomi for like 16 years. Love to see Naomi and what happened here, but this main event, love to see what these women did. He's like, I was damn near crying watching this main event. It was so good. Tearing up. He said, thank you, Rhea Ripley, for everything you did in this match. Thank you, Io Sky. This is what we needed tonight. This is women's wrestling. This is great. And he just put it over better than anybody probably else could have done. But yeah, no, fucking great show. As far as the live poll does go, 90% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, we will be back live tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. We got that big old Gauntlet match. We'll see that. And I don't think anything else has been announced for Raw. Let me just go double check really fast. What else do we have for Raw? That might actually be the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing so far we got announced for Raw is the Gauntlet match. So if we do hear anything else for tomorrow's Raw, we'll let you guys know. With that, have a great night, and we'll see you next time.